Welcome back, everybody, to another thrilling, riveting, nail-biting, edge of your seat, full body experience.
Wow. God damn.
That is the Backwater Bastards in space.
In space.
You get it right. It's in space.
Hey, what's that?
It's an extra-orbital affair.
The personal kind.
What? The personal kind?
Yeah, notice how Dan doesn't know what that
Close
is.
encounter of the
the fourth
Mendleroth kind.
Dan has no idea about personal space.
I don't. What is it?
Personal space.
This cat doesn't know what either.
Oh, in Dan's family, there is no personal space.
She's
Not
like, this
the
is my
cats.
space. This is my space.
This is my space. That's your face.
Your face
Also
is
my
space. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Love it.
Your face is my personal space.
So I take it we're all doing okay.
Well, I mean, I'm doing all right. I'm doing
I'm
all right.
pretending that I'm just saying hello to you now because it's the beginning of the podcast. So,
Yes, well-
hey guys, how are we all doing?
Excellent voice acting there.
Yes. Good
Acting
immersion.
as though I don't already know how you're doing as well. Because again, like it's as far as the listener is concerned, this is the first time we've all got together all week.
Oh,
So
good.
how are
Good
you guys
bit.
all doing?
Good bit.
Well,
Just
the
forcing
world's
that wall
going
down.
underwater. Species
I'm
are
drawing
collapsing.
attention to the
rainforests are
construction,
burning.
you know, the
Yeah.
facade, the
I am not
weird
excited
fakeness of the whole experience.
Yes.
To live in
Yeah.
Waterworld.
Well, I
All is war
I've
in the
been
41st
excited to
century.
hear how the battle's going to be going. I mean, it's
I'm not
it's been
sure
on my
if
mind a
I'm
lot this
excited
week.
about that.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm
it's,
nervous.
it's all coming to a head. You guys, started to rally the reinforcements, to start to sort of work out the main facets of the plan, and
Because we've planned before, and then it turns out counted for nada. Nothing. It was,
Well, you're
also,
right
what other
about-
plans went wrong? Your plans usually work out okay-ish, don't they?
It
will Yeah. be a
success if I end up on the throne.
Yeah.
Just put him on the toilet and just walk away.
Success of assault.
Well, let's recap things.
Oh,
Let's recap it.
The bastards, along with Clan Zarg, have taken Castle Zarg. It is now theirs.
oh yeah.
Meanwhile, the sort of more technologically inclined of the group have been sort of going around and working out how everything works in this place. You managed to get Norris, the administrator of Clan Zarg, up in the
Yes,
control
Shifty
panel
Norris.
room where he can actually survey all the surrounding areas and all the security cameras, and also sort of just keep everyone, on the same page in communication. And running from that area, Boris has run big fat cables out the window to all 4 towers to hook up the anti-aircraft guns to a central control port where Dilbert,
Oh yes.
Herodotus' trusty robot squire and field gun, can take control of the entire, planetary defense system.
This is quite the level up for Dilbert. This is like going from like
I really hope he
starting gear
doesn't
to,
harbor any
first
ill
legendary.
feelings.
Yeah, just
Because, I mean, initially he was like a fucking, a indestructible killbot, but he got
Yes.
blown up. Then he
Yeah.
got turned into a kind of a ramshackle field gun tank that can't talk.
So the video game is about Dilbert, because in games you start off max level in the tutorial zone, you then get defeated, and then you have to build up again. So Dilbert's life is just mapped out like that at the moment.
Pretty much.
I like
Yeah.
Yeah. Ghost of Tsushima.
I would play it. I'd play a fucking Dilbert game, actually.
I would love to play a Dilbert game. Pixel like metal slug, like burr, burr, burr. Keep the egg safe.
Yes.
But speaking of the egg, Dilbert relinquished
Yes.
the egg. And at least as a temporary measure, Herodotus has given the locals, the civilian populace of Castle Zarg, a job to do as proof of loyalty and as a proof of his ability to forge a relationship with them and trust them. And they are now the babysitters of the ovum, locked away in the most secure part of the castle, the bank vault.
Yeah. Let's really hope that Dickie doesn't take this as a chance to have them screw us over.
This particular group of Craw it seems unlikely that there's anything they can do. Like they're unarmed aside from a kitchen knife.
I mean, and he told you about that pretty quickly as well, like, and
That's
openly,
true.
like, hey guy, I got a knife. You really want me to look after your kid?
What can I say?
At that point, I was like, well, yeah, babysitter's a babysitter.
Among all this, we've had some, various sort of plans coming into fruition. Dr. Z managed to get in contact with both Little Z, or Z1.
Z1.
LOLOL.
LOL.
Who has been
LOL.
prepped and primed, ready to make an anonymous style hack attack on
Yes.
the enemy fleet
Yeah,
as a
probably
distraction when
subpar
required.
attack, but we'll useful. No doubt.
He's also called up and tracked down some old friends from prison, from the inside. Crispy
Inside.
and his gang of chef robots.
Yes.
Crispy.
This gang of chef robots.
Yep.
And of course, Cleo herself has taken the great big, as we were referring to it as the nuke, but it's a rocket. It's some
Yeah.
sort of super weapon.
Yes.
And it's been redecorated as one stone
One stone.
One
to kill many birds.
A
With
whole
one
lot of
stone.
One stone. I get it now. One stone.
And all these
the world
preparations
seems
had
to
almost, kind of come to their conclusion when something came from out of the sky. Something small and fast and just too difficult to shoot down with the anti-aircraft guns,
Yeah.
which landed just outside the castle gate.
Mm-hmm.
And then, as a holographic image was projected,
yeah.
a voice was booming from the inside. Admiral Larkey
Yes.
made his terms known that he expected Herodotus and the bastards and Clan Zug, of course, to hand over the castle to him without a fight, or to be branded as criminals and enemies of the Empire. And Herodotus restyled with a smear campaign across all the Terran media as a bandit king.
Oh, yes.
Which, of course, just served to inspire further delusions of grandeur.
So the bastards and Clan Zarg gathered in the central square of Castle Zarg, but interrupted rudely by the appearance of Admiral Larkey's projection just outside the castle gates. And with quick thinking and, only some small guidance and nudging, Norris is hooked into one of the castle's projection systems and has created a hologram all of your own. A hologram that is an immense Herodotus.
Voluminous.
Herodotus, for his part, is just sort of like stuck into an empty building, one of the shops, so that no one can see the real him as he places the recording device in front of him and is able
Embiggen
to,
himself.
to engage
Suck in.
as the projection, the immense Herodotus. So as Clan Zarg and the bastards gather around the console just to watch what's going on outside the gates, they can see the relatively human-sized projection, in fact, of Larkey being dwarfed by the Herodotus hologram that marches out the gates to meet him, to parley.
Standing above it,
Parlay.
Herodotus just sort of gestures to it and says, "Don't mind us, Larkey. We'll come to you."
I see. It's going to be something like this, is it? And slowly, the Larkey projection pumps itself up and sort of grows taller and taller until it's losing a lot of its solidity. It's getting quite a bit more ethereal, a bit more ephemeral. But it's matches, in fact, exceeds the height of Herodotus.
no.
Herodotus
Ever
gets
so
his
slightly.
communicator up and goes, "Norris, pump it up 400%.
Oh, yes, I thought you might be asking for that. 400. Oh, righty. And Herodotus, having a much superior projection technology at the moment, is able to pump up to a ludicrous height where he is he's clipping. His projector is now clipping with the castle. It's big, but it still has a certain solidity to it. And Larkey has already pushed his technology to the limits and just sort of like sniffs a little bit and sort of rolls his eyes as though this sort of display is
The burn
far
of
beneath him.
failure.
I can go all day, young'un."
I just did a hacking roll there because I wanted to try and trace to see if I could figure out which ship maybe Larkey was in or was the projection was coming from. But I've only rolled a 9, so I imagine
idea.
I failed that.
Yeah, but you could have another little, because like this thing is basically like a sort of a piece of like detritus now that you guys have access to. So you could always grab the device and have another look at it later on. Anyhow.
Oh, let's hope that doesn't have like a self-destruct or something.
yeah.
Fuck, did I just skip? Oh no, I get it. Shit.
Pretty good idea. It makes a lot of sense that it would.
You better keep your ideas to yourself, little baby. Shut up.
Shut up. Shut it. Just shut up. Shut up. Shut it up. Just shut up. Shut up.
Well then, Harry, I get the impression you're going to be a bit of a child about all this, but I'll give you one last chance to reconsider your options here. Bearing in mind...
Oh, Larkey, old boy, you misunderstand me. I wish to surrender the castle to you in person. And of course, in submission, I offer to come to you.
Well, Harry, the thing is, I have good reason not to trust you. As you well know. How many weeks of my pudding was it that I offered in exchange for homework? It seems to me, Herodotus, that those seeds that you sowed so long ago have finally come home to roost.
Oh, roost boost. Larkey, my boy. If you're looking for submission and therefore a qualified admission of your superiority, I offer it to you on a silver platter. Now you can walk away from this with both your honor and, of course, increased prestige. I offer this, gentlemen to gentlemen.
Well, you do raise an interesting point. I suppose any treachery on your part would be easily countered by my vast military superiority in this circumstance.
Of course, and a young conqueror, a blood-bathed butcher such as yourself, would of course wish to come off as magnanimous, lofty, and king-like. I can sense in you a run at, let's just call it higher office.
You can see like a little gleam in Larky's eyes as you can see almost salivating at the thought of climbing the ranks to.
I can tell, Dickie, that you're having way too
prestige.
much fun playing Larkey with the responses that Harry's giving you. Your smile is like.
I like it a lot. I won't lie. When Herodotus goes all fucking silver-tongued devil, like I can't help myself but like grin ear to ear, you know.
I kind of love it because I feel like Larkey is very much like Herodotus in that way. Like they are both so thoroughly institutionally corrupt.
Very well, Herodotus. You and a minimal escort will be permitted to board one of our control ships, and you will be allowed to escort me personally to my new castle. I think that that should be enough to stall any tricks you might have up your sleeve. I'm certainly not going to come and take the place on the simple word that those anti-aircraft guns will not be aimed at me. But if the Bandit King himself wants to come aboard my ship, well, who am I to deny him? Coordinates will be forthcoming, Herodotus.
No, very good, Larkey. One more thing.
Yes, we'll make it snappy.
You stand on the brink of conquest. What if I could offer you satrapy?
I am listening, Herodotus.
Well, let us just say it is an offer I will substantiate in person at the bridge of your command ship. No honor less for your satrap king.
Very well. I dare say I have been waiting to get one up on you for a very long time, Herodotus. The decades have taken their toll on the two of us, but, well, it's only fitting that I should finally come out on top of it all.
Oh.
No, absolutely. And may I say bravo, Larkey. Bravo indeed. A very well played game of multi-dimensional chess.
There's now like a sort of a smug look in Larky's face as he's still having to look up at the towering, ludicrous Herodotus statue, but he
Herodotus is kind of kneeling down and
patting him condescendingly.
All right, back there, Roget. Yes, don't send any of that paperwork through yet. We will not quite be ready to strip Herodotus of all rank and privilege. No. You can tell them just to don't turn the guns off the butler and staff. No, we still want to be ready to take the Mendleroth estate if required. Yes, I don't know. Yes, accept that. Yes, make them a cup of tea then. That's fine. I shouldn't have to explain all of this.
They've got troops at your home.
Okay, good. Yes.
Either that or they've taken
Oh
my
my-
And
family hostage.
I do want a fresh cappuccino. Yes.
Oh my god.
Which could backfire on him because Herodotus is currently thinking about the line of succession.
Right. Well, yes, I'm still on the line, aren't I? I will see you in person, Harry.
Yes, very good, Larkey. Goodbye. Well, we'll see you later. Goodbye.
Fare thee well.
Click. And the projection sort of fades away as like the lights dim on the little device and it sort of folds up its lens.
Well,
Let's meet up and fucking discuss. So Rogers puts away the hologram thing and goes in search of Duck and the Bear.
How far away are our reinforcements?
So they're still a bit of a way away. Or at least the cowboys are going to take another whole day to get here. You're not entirely sure how long it's going to take Crispy to assemble his people, but he is actually close. Like using a warp drive, he can actually get here. Like, if they were going as fast as possible, they could be arriving any minute.
Yeah.
Fucking ace.
So as Herodotus sort of comes out from behind his little Wizard of Oz, curtain,
Don't look at the man behind the
just like an abandoned shop. I'm sort of imagining he's sort of like, okay, where's the door? I can go and do this in private. You see Clan Zarg are all sort of like grinning toothily because they understand what's what. They know now that Harry, he might be a confusing, slippery one, but he's not being slippery to them. He's, they caught the layers of irony here. There's one thing that he is not, and that is a man to give up power.
Oh, yes.
So there's a lot of congratulating and patting on the back and, saluting with blasters. There's a lot of sort of yee-haws and shooting at the ceiling
They
now.
just moved in.
Yeah, but I mean, they kind of,
That new
they're kind of
house
animals. Like
smell.
they've never had nice things.
Riding that moment, I do believe it's time to address the troops.
But there's a lot of preparations as well. Like fixing up guns. Some of Clan Zarg have now like retired to the ship port, check out everything, get the fighters out, and just sort of make sure everything's all powered up. All the guns are all working. All the windshields are clean.
And let loose, boot loose. No? Okay.
Get down on some of that juice.
Juice, boy.
8 sort of ships that are potentially maneuverable in combat. You've got 9 ships in total, in fact.
Yeah. Is Boris with us in the meeting room?
Is he like, does he have a hole in his back?
But yes, Boris, in fact, is already in that room because he's wiring Dilbert up.
I thought you were gonna say
This is not winding him up.
Is there an anti-aircraft gun that's fallen on the ground outside the castle? Because there are towers that have the guns, but there are towers that broke as well.
Truth.
So there's one tower that both guns are destroyed. There's another tower where one gun is destroyed, and there's one tower where both guns are active, but the tower is destroyed. Like they are the only thing that's stopping Larkey making a frontal assault on you as well. So
we got, how many guns have we got on this castle?
how many guns you got? You got 5.
5 guns. Sick. And Dilbert's in control of all of them.
And then there's three partially exploded guns as well that are
all right.
That, might be salvageable. There's one of them is definitely not salvageable. There's the one that Herodotus fired upon point blank with one of its partners. There's no way that one's being salvaged. But there's the other 2 that were shot all the way across the length of the castle. Could very well be repaired, given time and resources at least.
Nice.
All right, but maybe not within the next 24 hours.
Probably not for this fight,
Okay.
but worth remembering.
Cool.
So
Alright.
even if Boris and I both used our engineering skill,
I mean, you could probably turn them into something. They're built to convert star sand into tremendous bursts of just like unstoppable shield-piercing plasma. Even if you couldn't make them into guns again, you could probably turn them into horrific explosive
Wait, sorry,
devices.
hold up. You said that they convert star sand, which is the dust, which is the credits.
Mm-hmm.
We have an entire cargo ship filled with nothing but raw star sand credit juice.
Yeah.
So if we find a
That
way to
you
hook
do?
up that fucking money into this gun, we can make like a Death Star. Like,
Well, that's basically just already what they are.
oh, okay.
You know, like
okay. No turning it up to 11 then. Okay.
Well, I mean, the turning it up to 11 is the fact that we have like all this ammo. Does it make a difference that it's like in the format that it's in, or not really?
no, it definitely makes a difference. Yeah, like it's sort of supposed to be refined and
Oh, okay. Okay.
This is the raw.
Wow.
It's also like it's like all of your guns, all of like even your energy blades and your energy shields, like all of them do that same thing of just of processing this material into a new energy source, be that blast of plasma or hard light or kinetic energy. Like they just do it.
Very well, Harry. Looks like you're going to war with another associate of yours.
Oh, yes. Indeed we are. And this time, there is no love lost.
I just love the idea that Larkey has been like nursing this wound about like this little high school fucking betrayal like for like decades.
And now he thinks he's won. Oh, this is gonna get tragic.
Hotter than two rabbits screwing in a wool sock.
No.
Oh, that's pretty hot.
Yeah.
It's the hottest.
It's the hot.
Some people measure things in Kelvin, but I measure it in how many rabbits screwing in a wool sock.
So Trevor, who's been sort of like keeping sort of quiet but watchful and sort of thinking and processing, is like, so how are you going to approach this, Herodotus? You said you'd meet him. Are you going to honor that, or do you have something else up your sleeve? We need to get them to this side somehow.
Well,
Only way Dilbert's going to be able to shoot them out of the sky is if they're in the sky.
how best do you kill a hydra?
Chop off heads until they stop coming back?
Yeah, you would think so, wouldn't you? It sounds like sense, except when the head is struck off, of course, two heads come back. It's a bit of a pickle, I'm afraid. However, you can do what the idiot Hercules did and still cut off the head, but then use some sort of flame. It's redundant. Strike the heart.
Ah, surgery.
Indeed. No, you're quite right, Doctor. We are speaking within your proverbial bailiwick, as it were. A strike to the heart. A surgical strike, yes. We will take the biggest kaboom boom machine that Cleo can
looks up.
muster. Oh dear, here she is.
Cleo's ears swivel around like satellite dishes. Sniffing the air.
Frighteningly large it is as well. Like looking down out the window at that, they're sort of in the sort of prize position in the middle of the square, the one rock.
Then we will proceed to strike at the heart of the enemy fleet. All we have to do then is strike off the heads as they come. And that is what we'll have this fortress for.
Well, that's all well and good, but how do we ensure that the boarding party, whoever that may be, sort of like looking awkwardly around, hoping that he's not to be included among this number, get away safely outside of the, well, let's say, unpredictable blast radius.
Of the bomb.
Yes, of the bomb.
Well,
Yes,
I was
indeed.
having some thoughts there. I have the fishbowl. I imagine Harry going in on aboard one of the other transports. I will assume formation with the regular fleet and wait for the appropriate time. And when Harry and whoever else needs to escape, well, I think all of Clan Zag saw how well Harry can do in space, free fall.
It's quite simple, really. We
Just hold
fly.
your nose.
Yeah. It's all about the flow, you see.
Classic Herodotus maneuver. Well,
We will go to Larkey, and we will proverbially surrender to him. Then I will trade on our common greed to have him provide me an escort down to the planet's surface to have the locals, submit themselves to me as their future god king, and me ostensibly surrendering my new subjects to my new overlord. However, this will never happen. Once we land, I will say to the locals, join me, and I will strike down your greatest enemy. In fact, I will do that right away. Then I detonate the bomb. The theatrics will presumably convince the natives to join us in an uprising against, well, they are already fighting. It would be an uprising, so we will be confirmed as allies. Then we would overpower the escort, fly back up again, and draw off the fighter escort back to the fortress, where we let the fortress guns shoot them all down, providing the much-needed victory to seal our authority over our common people. Any questions?
Yeah, only one.
Yeah.
What happens if anything along that series of events goes wrong prior to any of the latter parts of the plan?
Well, then we improvise. Any suggestions?
I got a bomb for that.
Yes. When has Cleo never had a bomb for that?
I feel like I saw that coming.
I wasn't born on the turnip truck, but I tell you what, I mean, we could just... I got a bomb for that.
Well, I don't have any better ideas, and I see the merit. We do need to get the Craw on side eventually, and we most certainly need to deal with Larkey quickly.
I got a bomb for that, too.
Ooh, we haven't sent up the marathon runner yet, have we?
Oh no, the marathon runner's on the way already. The
Oh, right,
marathon
okay.
runner is heading there with the message, typical Gandalf, look to the south for, support
great
type
victory.
thing. For a great victory,
basically,
yeah.
like, reinforcements from Clan Zarg will be arriving, which is pretty good because that's prepping them for you showing up and hey, look at this, beep, boom. That's this plan, from what I heard, it's brief ideas about it last week. It makes a lot more sense today somehow.
Yeah, I mean it's all doable.
Harry, I heard brief talk there. It seems they have your family or your household under arrest.
Oh yes, playing right into my hand. Don't you know how well this will play politically?
Right, so you have there's no plan for trying to get them out of your house.
Well, I suppose we could. I mean, they probably monitor the calls, don't they? There's not much we can do, really. I mean, on a purely sentimental basis, I do suppose I care for them in my way, but on the other hand, they didn't really go, as they say, to bat for me when I got exiled. So, you win some, you lose some. I have you guys now. You're my family.
Cleo looks over and she's like, I got a bomb for that.
Yeah.
There's also they're sort of, they're free citizens of the Empire. The chance of them just being gunned down in their home is pretty low.
And
Noble families, know.
Please tell me we recorded that.
What do you mean?
Like in game. Please tell me
You've got that in writing that
No, that recorded the background thing where he confirms that they have my family.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because we can fucking destroy him now.
I mean, it's on the surveillance cameras of Clan Zarg castle.
Oh, okay. So Herodotus suddenly gets a brainwave, which doesn't happen very often. He sort of grabs the doctor and says, the communications tapes, get them. I do believe we have a secret weapon there.
Yes, I'll bring them up.
I don't know if you heard, but I just so happened to catch, on the breeze as it were, whispers that Larkey might have devices against my family.
Yes, I believe it was at this part.
Cut, clip, and play.
So you
Zoom in.
Oh, so you enhance. So you did catch.
It's
So you did
already
catch that.
enhanced. I can't enhance it more than that. It's already.
Enhance again.
You watch too much TV, Harry.
Well, this would not play particularly well for Larkey. It should come out to the liberal press, as it is, allowed. Anyway, point is, the man is a public official. Even if we are a blood-soaked empire, it wouldn't play away from political. And then for the emperor to keep him on after such a fiasco and an assault against the liberty of free citizens of the empire. Do you know
you want
what
to,
this kind of...
Do you want me to save this email as a draft, and you can let me know when you want me to hit send?
Oh, lovely. You think... Oh, that brain of yours, Doctor.
I've just got Z1's name in the email thing to send because Z1's on New Terra, right? So like I've just got
Yes.
that loaded up and saved it.
And
saved as a draft.
he does have an MO of like smashing the system from within
Yeah.
with like dissemination of
Yes.
information and general sort of hack attacks and so on.
So saved as draft, not
Oh my
sent.
god.
He's actually the perfect person to send that to because I kind of imagine he's got this whole network of like hacker buddies on New Terra who like.
And that's the bomb for that.
That's there we go. There we go, Cleo. Cleo said she had the bomb.
Herodotus turns to them both and goes,
Well, now it is we who have the bomb. Many bombs.
We will always have the bomb.
a lot of boom boom.
I think
juice.
everyone has too many
Big
bombs.
boom.
I've still got this backpack.
We need to stop.
There are a lot of bombs
yeah.
going on
We've
here.
got too many bombs.
I don't
Well-
even need to make any more right now.
Well, Doctor, make sure to bring them when you both come with me to surrender.
Harry sort of throws up the quotation marks, giggling maniacally as he turns to kind of go away and do some preparations. You gotta be with me. You gotta be with me.
We're all back, and
Back.
let's just get right back into this, shall we? So
Let's do it.
Trevor's sort of like looking like, well, what ship are you taking?
Well, I was thinking about the plentiful pantry. It is sedate, it is non-threatening, and it is a known quantity in my circle.
It's very
It's a
non-threatening,
big old
Harry.
It's also
Square.
it is also about a day away though.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
Tis true. It might be a little suspect if we. Oh, I just had another thought. What if we ask Larkey for an escort right now?
You think he would send a ship here? Wouldn't he be frightened that we might just blow the thing out of the sky?
But what do we have to win by blowing it out of the sky?
I can't put a bomb on it though.
Can't you though? If it lands,
Why not?
And we take it.
Oh right, well. Yes.
Yeah, if you just like
think about it, right?
take down all the staff and
Exactly.
get them out of radio contact and then just take the ship.
Get the costumes on. I mean, uniforms. God. And we might be a larger contingent. This might increase our effectiveness. It might also be a risky play. I'm just, as they say, throwing things at the wall, seeing what sticks. The river sticks. Oh God, the
I do that
soul shall
sometimes.
traverse that dark boundary this night. Anyway,
I'll tell you what do stick. Find out.
Do you want to call Larkey then?
Trevor sort of like nodding like, well, if they only send a single transport ship, we should be able to wrest control of it relatively easily, but will they buy that it's not their men in charge when we arrive?
this is a
Well,
good point. Perhaps.
Harry,
I-
when they arrive, perhaps you could give them a tour of their new castle that they're about to inherit.
Oh, not a bad idea. We could stage an ambush.
No, just a tour. Just a tour.
right.
Just
And then-
distract
and
them for a little bit.
Or we get them into the dead zone inside of the courtyard and we
No.
direct all the guns at them.
No,
They can't move.
just allow them to be distracted, and while they're distracted, we'll look after the ship.
Yes, except I need to be on that ship when it leaves, Doctor.
Yes, and then we'll all
Oh, you
leave
better get
together
back
after
on.
they've seen the castle. After you take them for a quick walk around the castle.
Oh, Doctor, you bloody genius! Oh, I just got that one. Oh, Doctor, you are a wily one.
I was like, is my plan stupid? Like, what?
Your plan is so stupid that it's genius. No, I mean, it's just that you didn't explicitly state, and then we'll put the bomb on it and hide it somewhere.
We're gonna do secret shit while
So,
you're not
you
looking.
use your powers of negotiation to dazzle them and show them around the barracks that they shall
I
inherit.
tell you this, Doctor, in imperial circles, my personal charisma is a little bit dependent on whether or not the officer in charge is of the old school or the new school. So I suggest you this. soon as the gentleman lands and we are able to assess his character, we can make a joint decision on whether or not we assume he belongs to the aforementioned new or old school. Should he be of the old school, I do believe your plan will work quite well, but he's of the new school, and I think my preliminary plan of having them walk into the dead zone so we can threaten them with guns is far better. What do you say?
Yes, it sounds like a perfect coin flip.
Grand! Let's do it.
Well, shall I patch you through to the command ship of Larkey then?
No, do. And Harry turns to the others and goes, he's gonna love this.
Norris is sort of like, messing about on the switchboard, like, all right then, I'm hailing them, hopefully they reply. And then sort of, whoop, whoop, as your call is transferred.
What are we using, Skype?
Zoom?
Don't put me on wait. Don't put me on wait, damn it.
Your call is important to us.
And then suddenly there's a screen sort of lights up and you get a hologram of an Imperial soldier, not very high in rank, looking like deer in headlights into the screen.
Oh yes, no.
Shuffles out of the way on a little wheelie chair as Larkey dramatically wanders into shot.
Swirls
Lucky
his
old boy.
motherfucking cape.
Good to see you still have everything under control.
Well, it seems you do not though. What is it, Harry? You just couldn't wait to speak to me again, was it?
I must admit, Larkey, I am smitten, but it is not why I call. It occurred to me that it's going to be a rather flak-filled zone we are to be traversing through to get to you, no? You are currently finding yourself in a live fire range, do you not?
Why, yes, it is glorious as well, but never fear, Herodotus. As soon as you get on board my ship, none of these inferior alien technologies will have any chance of penetrating neither armor nor shields.
Of course, Larkey, of course. I understand completely. My problem is rather leading up to that glorious and happy reunion. I don't want to evoke the old school, but I will. It would be good form of you, seeing as you are to be the hegemon of this wing of the galaxy. I mean, all things are going well, of course. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Say no more. It would be good form of you to send an escort to your future satrap king. What say you? A single ship would do.
A single ship?
Yeah, it's small frigate, nothing fancy.
Well, no funny business, Harry.
Oh, no, of course not. But an honor guard, it's good form, Larkey. It's good form. Old school, old school.
Well, I suppose I could spare one. But if you try to trick me, or certainly if you shoot this thing out of the sky, well, all bets are off, Harry. So I would certainly reconsider any mischief that you might have planned, because I will see through it, like I've seen through all your ploys over the years.
Oh, Larkey, you are too sharp for me, like a strong cheddar in spring. No, I can't compete with you, old boy.
It's like a Cleoism, but a Herodotusism.
Very well, I shall take you on your word that this solitary vessel shall go unmolested into the gates of Castle Zarg.
And that was his first mistake.
Of course, I'm sure you will be very aware that my men will be taking stock of your defenses should you attempt to make any kind of betrayal.
No, Larkey, as an offer of good faith, I will offer to take them on a personal tour, giving personal observations of my lone man infiltration of the fort. I will have you know, a rather heroic venture on my part. Too bad you weren't here to see it, seeing as you're sitting behind the line of action. But of course, what must a good commander do upon the field of glory and so on? It's bandits.
Well, yes, I know you and I have never seen eye to eye on such topics, but, well, there is a reason why you are disgraced and I am an admiral.
Yes, some are more lucky in their relations.
One must be willing to keep one's hands clean in this game, Harry. An unpopular opinion, perhaps, but one that has served me well in life.
Yes, and what happens when those hands clasp family members?
There's a sort of like a brief moment when Larkey sort of like freezes, looks off to the side and is like suddenly realizing that perhaps Herodotus heard something he shouldn't have.
Family is important, Larkey. But you would know. You're of good stock yourself. Now be a good boy and send that ship, and I shall see you soon, darling.
Yes, my man will be with you within the hour.
Your man. Indeed. See you then.
I mean, later. Bye.
He's slurping on his cup of frothy coffee as the transmission goes dead. It was almost like a gleeful hand clap from Larkey, though, once he realized that he was able to send someone with recording devices and infiltration devices to really just get a good read and recording on all the defenses of the castle, to try and count your numbers, count your guns, count your vessels. He's practically giddy with excitement at the fact that Herodotus is so stupid as to let someone into the castle that he's blinded to any risks he himself might be taking.
Blinded by the light.
Stepped in some poop and now my foot is on
So
fire.
as everyone's sort of really getting themselves ready, Trevor walks up to the three of you. Now, I don't want to cast any doubt on the plan, but you did want me coming as some sort of backup, I assume.
Of course, we need a desperado, don't we?
Trevor's the pilot, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yes.
Now, I could take our own ship here, people have been throwing the name around and so forth, but
Well, it's not you've not called yourself one, but everyone else has been calling it.
Well, yes, I gather you understand what I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
I mean,
here.
you can't say it yourself, but it's perfectly okay for everyone else to say it.
It is emblazoned across the side
It
of the
does
vessel,
kind of.
after all. But
If you say it with your whole mouth, then...
Then it's a bit.
what I mean to say is, the hero might be a little bit ostentatious
The
for
what?
this particular
What
mission.
did you just say? What did you say? Oh, look at us.
Excuse
Oh.
you.
Just something the lads have been
Round of
spitballing.
applause for the hero.
Most amused.
Oh, Lord.
Trevor blushing fully as the twins who are standing nearby cackle with laughter as
Classic us. Have tall poppy syndrome, eh? As soon as anyone gets above their station, cut them down.
So hard.
well. What I mean to say
Call
was,
me a biscuit.
I was hoping, Doctor, that you would relinquish command, at least for a short period, to me of your fishbowl. It might go a little more undetected on the Terran radar in the middle of a firefight.
I agree. I was thinking the same. How is your new Terran accent coming along?
Well, not quite as good as Billy Boy's, I have to admit, but I'll give it a go.
Yes, in front of us all, please.
All right then, Governor.
Oh, I like that.
Yes,
I like
well,
that.
it's
Spot of tea for you all, governors.
it
That'd
sounds
scare a buzzard off a gut pile.
sounds perfect to me. I think it passes 100%.
I mean, yeah, Dr. Z doesn't even have ears. Being that I speak the second most Italian.
I said second most.
That was easily the best moment of that movie, and yeah, I'm including Hitler getting his brains blown out. So Trevor makes his way into the ship port
Yes.
to just check on the fishbowl, to unload it from the Grey Dragon, and just get himself used to the controls and stuff, and see where the sort of the aim and the things kind of vary from the first near design that he's used to. Meanwhile, in the radar that Norris is still keeping a hawk-like eye on, you do see a small ship coming towards the atmosphere of the moon.
Gross.
On your side. And it stops just outside the range of your guns for a while and sits there, kind of like blinking. And then eventually Norris is like, "Oh, they're hailing us. I'll patch it through, yes?" Slamming on a little button. As just a sort of like the bust and head of a rather nervous looking private of the Imperial military is sitting there, like staring down the camera. He's like,
Your Uber's here.
I have it on good word that I can go unmolested landing within the castle walls. Am I understood to be correct?
No,
Depends on who's home.
To whom do we have the pleasure to converse?
My name is Mathis.
And your rank, designation, regiment, and a little bit of your history, if you would. It's good form.
Well, I'm a private of the
Just putting Dick to work right there.
I'm a private of the New Terran Navy, stationed on Earth, but born and bred in New Terra, sir. The Mathis family is perhaps not renowned, but we are an old family and have been with the Empire for many generations.
Solid man. And are you familiar with the Mendleroths? It does not matter. You will be soon enough. Now, yes, do feel free to land. We will have refreshments for you and a short tour before returning.
Yes.
For you and your crew.
Very good. There's just the three of us, sir.
Very good.
Mathis.
Over and out.
Come on, baby.
Cleo.
What are you doing?
Cleo.
Say.
I'm going to need you and the engineers to help me. Well, Harry's doing his tour.
I guess for a small fee, I could.
Oh, shit.
I mean, you got any?
I'll get you another bucket.
All right, good. Just,
This one's getting greasy.
just.
It's a crazy bucket.
So, the ship comes down into the atmosphere. It comes down at a leisurely pace. Obviously, sort of, like weary and looking out for the potential of some sort of assault, but also not wanting to come in too hot and miss the entry port into the castle. All right, are you going to go meet him there then? I can open the door if you're ready, says Norris.
Yes, bring them out. Let the games begin. You know what to do. Owen.
All right then. Well, you know your way to the port, I'm sure. Opening the door now. Norris pushes the button, and the ceiling of the spaceport is opening up. It's sort of it's back towards the rear section of the castle, overlooking the cliff because it's the easiest direction from which ships to come in and land. So Herodotus makes his way back to the spaceport, arriving almost, serendipitously, some might say. Perhaps just even in some sort of attempt to keep the plot rolling without wasting any sort of dead air. But Herodotus arrives as, through the open ceiling, Mathis's ship comes and lands right next to the Grey Dragon. The ship is it's of New Terran design. It's got a sort of a similar sort of look to the Plentiful Pantry. It's kind of vintagey, but it has these big curved spiky wings, much like the fishbowl. But it has a much more of a like a sort of a torpedo-y, like lengthened look to it, rather than an orb like the fishbowl, because it's a larger vessel.
Yes.
And it lands, like rather sort of cleanly. It's looking a little bit sort of scuffed up. There's obviously a lot of detritus and space junk in the battle that it's just come from. Mm-hmm. But it has, this particular ship doesn't look like it's taken any shots. And the door opens up and a ramp rolls out as Mathis, accompanied by two other soldiers, one man, one woman, step out, sort of looking about. You can already see that as Mathis comes out, he clicks on some sort of body cam that's recording everything. One can only presume sending a live feed back to Larkey himself.
Yes.
As Mathis and his compatriots step out and sort of walk down to meet Herodotus. They're like,
"You think you're slick? Think you're slick?"
Sort of stepping down, giving a quick, snappy, sharp salute. "Commodore!"
Herodotus does the lazy officer.
"Private Mathis reporting. You offered us a short tour of the facility, I believe, before we are to transport you to the Admiral."
Absolutely. And can I assume he is on the other side of this lens?
Well,
stuck to the screen as ever, Larkey. Can't take your eyes off me, can you? Very well, boys, follow me.
They're kind of like looking around, like sort of fidgeting, that they're not really seeing much. There's only Trevor in here, like sort of working rather discreetly on the fishbowl. There's the rest of Clan Zarg are sort of still prepping their other weapons.
Herodotus aims himself for like an outside door so he can get to the outside wall, and he's going to take them on a tour of the perimeter, like just the outside of the wall.
We can describe how we took the castle in glorious battle.
Yes, but sort of
narrating that as he's just because the least interesting thing to see is just the perimeter.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
as he's taking them around that as he's telling them the story
my
of how he
Marching
took the
up
castle.
and down the square.
Up and down the square. Yes, you see, I took the castle in great form. I single-handedly stormed the outer perimeter, and then proceeded to knock out the aforementioned superior gunpowder of the locals by sheer stealth and strength of character.
Oh, I see, Commodore. And, well, some of these guns don't look entirely operational. Is that to be understood to be correct?
Yeah, well, you know, I would say that in the course of the battle, out of the number of operational guns that there was prior to the battle, it's fair to say that, well, it's a little bit embarrassing, but only 2 guns remain operational, I'm afraid, and the rest seem to have mysterious. Well, to be honest, I got a little overzealous and knocked them out myself. You know how it is when the red fever takes you.
And they're sort of like looking to one another, like with like little sort of knowing glances. They're sort of like, they're doing the math in their heads. They're thinking like, we could probably just take this place. There would be casualties, but not nearly as many as we were suspecting, sort of thing. Like, and Larkey, certainly at the other end of this camera, the cogs must be turning in his mind.
And then Herodotus sort of points over to the leaning tower and goes,
And I'm afraid to say the 2 that are operational are a little bit of a difficult angle, honestly. It's all a bit of a mess. But, it's a good thing that we are now bosom buddies and hearty friends collected in cause and heart.
Well, I do agree, Commodore, and I'm sure the Admiral will forgive your overzealousness when you hand over his new castle.
Of course he will. Now, come with me. I have something very interesting to show you.
then he takes them sort of towards the gate to show them how the gate has been blown up, and is going to narrate that in great detail for them. Oh, and but Doctor, you're with us too. You got to give some deets.
I'm imagining that they're quite disgusted that you have an alien walking along with you.
Oh, good point.
I mean, every now and then they sort of catch a glimpse of the honey boy sort of hulking over one of their shoulders and sort of give like little involuntary shudders as they're like, oh my, such company he keeps.
Yes, well,
The Doctor is not a bad sort.
Yes, doctor. That's all. Just a doctor. I just
Yes.
do surgery. Hearts and brains.
Yes, and a little bit of a nip tuck on the side, Private. Before long, the little grays and wrinkles are going to start marring you worse than your battle scars, and then you're going to want someone like the Doctor. He can keep you looking young. Just look at me.
Well, yes, I gather it must have been quite useful to have a doctor on hand, given the savage ways of the locals.
I would say, given the savage ways of war, you are a soldier now. You would
Yes.
not belittle a great warrior culture.
would you like us to give you a sample of how it felt? Don't worry, I have the antidote if you're willing. I'm sure brave Imperial troops, it's nothing to them. Surely, Harry.
Well,
I mean, Private, he makes a very good point. You wouldn't want to be seen as some sort of weak link in the great chain that is the Empire, would you?
I don't think there's any requirement for that today.
Requirement? Not at all. But
Yes.
if the savage tribesmen could survive such an ordeal, a
Yes.
solid son of the Imperial bosom must be twice as hardy at least. No, it wouldn't even cause you an upset
It's
stomach.
probably a waste of time, Harry. I'm sure this would do nothing on them. But if they insist, yes, well,
You're probably right.
our captors clearly are the better human.
Yeah, it is. What has Lady Lord of Clansman wouldn't even touch an Imperial, I'm sure. I mean, I'm fine.
Yes.
Yeah.
We certainly would not have stooped so low as these filthy crawlers as to poison our enemies.
No. But there's the fleet above, and that's fun. So, how about I take you to the place of the poisoning?
Well, perhaps is there strategic value to this? I mean, you can sort of see he's like fiddling with a little earpiece in his ear as though he's receiving instructions from on high. He's like, well, actually, perhaps we'd better get you back to the ship.
Oh, yes, absolutely. But first, I have one last little bit to show you, and it's very important.
And he sort of motions the Doctor to come close.
This is a really good chance to offload some merchandise.
What do you mean?
From the Zog Moon tour, surely we have T-shirts to spare.
Oh, yes. Oh, brilliant.
I'm sure it wouldn't be seen
Finally
as
a time to shine. I say, as we have come to the end of this tour, here we are at the gift shop. Now, forgive the rugged appearance of it all, but we do have T-shirts, Zog Moon excursions, expeditions, and castles. Well, castles from when it was intact. Now, how many would you all like to take? Purchasing, of course.
Keep in mind that the handsome purchase will end the tour now. Otherwise, we could go on. You know, there's so much to see.
I could go on with the sales pitch for a while, but it would be nice to... one T-shirt each and a few color versions of each castle, probably.
Well, I guess it would be, it could be...
You want to remember this forever, I'm sure. I do.
Yes, meaningful to commemorate this operation. It has one of Larkey's biggest successes to date.
Yes, Larkey's successes.
Yes, Larkey's success. Yes,
he is a successful man, is Larkey.
Well, he did orchestrate the whole thing after all.
Oh yes, it was his brainchild.
Now sizes, we've got a small, and a small. All right, so yes. Now is that correct?
Is that the prescribed dosage, Doctor?
Mathis is sort of like holding the small up. It's looking like it's going to be like kind of a very tight-fitting sort of muscle shirt on him.
It's all the rage. Let me tell you now.
The girls will go wild, Private.
Meanwhile, his female associate is sort of holding up the same shirt, and it's kind of just looking, like just kind of square and boxy on her, like not really a good fit either. And the third soldier sort of, he doesn't even, just sort of, like his cheeks are a little rosy. He doesn't even hold it up over himself, as it is clear that he will not be able to even get his shoulders into it.
Yes. Well, that's good because it's the only size we have left. We didn't expect such a rush.
I will frame it on the wall.
No, lovely. I love that he's kind of taken with it. Oh, I'll put it on the wall.
Little shadow box.
Well, I mean, this could be like, because the Empire hasn't taken any new territories in years and years and years. So this could be, like if all goes to Larkey's plan, this could be a really famous military operation.
Oh, it's gonna be.
And if it doesn't go to Larkey's plans, it's still going to be a famous military operation.
Oh, yes. It's going to be the beginning of our conquest.
You always remember this is the day you almost took Zafrey. As the soldiers stuff their newly bought swag, their T-shirts and various bits and pieces, which they paid a mildly exorbitant fee.
Yes, well.
But the Z requested. They sort of tuck them back into their little satchels and sort of nod like, then back to the ship then, shall we? We might as well get this show on the road. There's been a very nice tour, Herodotus.
Oh yes, we'll take the scenic route back just so I can show you the artistic treasures of this fortification.
So as Herodotus leads the party on another sort of boring, mainly just sort of like around the exterior walk once more back to the port, just going around the other direction, you finally make your way back to the spaceport, where sitting there in the middle of the room, just waiting with the red carpet rolled out and all, is Mathis's ship. Well, very good. Now, you are permitted to take a small delegation with you. Will the crustacean be attending?
The esteemed doctor and the Ursine Major shall come with me as aide de camp.
Yes, I thought that beer must be around here someplace.
Yes,
very well.
You've heard of us.
Call your beast, and we'll make a go of it.
Professional to professional, Private. You're likely to get yourself an arm short, to put it that way, if you keep up this charade of the imperialist. You must understand you deal with wild people out here. We're on the periphery after all.
Very good, Commodore. My apologies, Doctor, and
her name is Cleo, and she's quite nice.
Your your fur bedazzled companion.
Bedazzled.
And
Just
we
call
shall,
her Cleo. And then he gets on his the communicator. Cleo!
Yeah, well, this is she.
Come now, darling. We're leaving.
Already? Oh, I was in the loo.
I feel ya. Well, take your time, but be aware that the gentlemen are of, imperial quality.
Oh, well, then, in that case, just wash my hands before I come out. I'll be right there.
Very good, very good.
All right,
And,
I'm gonna stroll on out.
Moments later, Cleo appears through the door to the side, and the soldiers are sort of like nodding and like sort of gesticulating towards the ship as one of them sort of steps inside to fire the thing up. Oh, very good. Would you like to sit up front with us then?
Yes. Would you grant me the commander's seat? It is an old flame of mine, after all.
Absolutely, good sir. Well then, we will leave it to you. That the two of us will sit up back. Let's go see the admiral, hey?
Very good.
Yes, well, I'll come sit with you. I would like to see how you enjoy these trinkets from your tour.
Is Cleo going to sit on the benches or squeeze herself into one of the Terran seats up front?
I am going to squeeze myself into one of the Terran seats up front.
I want to see what this cockpit's going to look
And
like.
I am going to say, wow, this is a hell of a vessel. Gentlemen, wow, I ain't never seen the like of this on my own home planet or what have you, or things of this nature or whatsoever. Wow, what a machine!
The pilot,
Wow.
who is the diminutive female soldier, sort of like looking a little bit confused, like, just don't pull that lever because I'm not sure you will fit through the chute.
Oh, well, we'll soon. We're about to find out now, ain't we?
Oh, shit.
Oh goodness, it was just arms and legs inside at least.
Whoa, that's a close fit now, ain't it?
Because Cleo
It's like a
immediately
turtleneck in a dust storm.
pulls the lever. The seat she's in, which happens to be one of the gun turret seats, sort of descends and drops into the little gun turret, which is kind of like Cleo's. Remember those fake videos about was it bonsai kittens inside jars or something like?
Yeah.
It's
it's a bit like
the
that.
Square cat, the
That was
square
so-
potato.
That was so upsetting.
Cleo, technically, her body structure fits in there quite easily, but her fur is filling up the leftover space, so she looks like she's squeezed in more so than she
We're in
is.
here now. What is this about? Oh no! What is this? Pew pew pew! Watch out!
The pilot sort of laughs nervously as she closes up the door and takes off.
Pop the radio down here, would you?
Meanwhile, out back, the other soldiers are sort of like looking confused at Dr. Z as they take the t-shirts out and just sort of fold them, irreverently, and then sort of place them into just in a corner on the
No.
bench.
This is our first expedition. Put them on.
Right then.
Be good boys and humor the doctor.
As both Dr. Z and Cleo are torturing their respective Terran soldiers, the ship is piloted out of the castle. The doors atop the roof closing behind you. The guns sort of, just lazily trained nearby, as just ready to defend you if there is any treachery afoot. As Dilbert is taking his job very seriously, as he ever does.
Dilbert. Back
And the ship is piloted by the good private out of the atmosphere of Zarg Moon, picking up speed, just blasting out into open space as she begins to sort of wheel it around the moon. And as you're working your way around the moon, just in sort of like a close orbit, slowly the horizon, widen. Well, it doesn't widen, but as the horizon sort of, you're coming over and around and further around, suddenly there's light, there's fire, there's explosions.
Whoa.
As you come around to the northern hemisphere of Zarg Moon, where the Craw City is under massive fire from Larkey's armada.
Are the shields holding up?
You can see down onto the surface, and this is a sprawling metropolis. It's a big city. It's it's not as big as like a Terran city, but it's big considering the size of this moon. It does take up a large portion of the planetary body's surface area.
Yeah.
And parts of it look utterly decimated. Other parts of it are holding up strong. There are a lot of these shields, just like various domed areas that are protected and deflecting these shields. But yeah, large sections of the city, particularly around the outskirts, look like they've just been blown to bits, burnt out. There's a constant bombardment.
Well,
There's a lot of these Terran bombers, like you saw on Sand. You can see them sort of sweeping around beneath the clouds within the atmosphere of the planet, just dropping bombs and then coming back up to refuel. And then there are a lot of sort of medium-sized just destroyer ships that are just firing from outside of the orbit, just taking pot shots down. And then further still, there's just a innumerable number of fighter ships. There's various classes of them, but there's quite a few that look exactly like Dr. Z's fishbowl. And they're flying around in little formations, loosely held bird-like formations, and they're fighting with the craw ships, which are much smaller in number, but they are these dangerous, vicious little things, and they seem to have, in some ways, superior tactics to the Terrans, who rely much more on their heavy firepower. And as you come round and observe more of this firefight, you can see that although the Craw are taking very big casualties, every time one of their ships loses its shields, they fly their long, almost spear-like ships into the side of the biggest target they can take. So actually, the Terrans are actually taking some serious casualties as well, as a lot of their bigger ships, although not exploded, have been, they're stranded in the air.
So these crawl ships are like melee ships. They just ram.
That's like a last-ditch, desperado.
Yeah, they're maneuverable little fighter ships, but it looks like at a last-ditch effort, they can also be used as a ram, and they have like a long, pointed, and it looks like it's made of the same sort of armored, same sort of dark armored material that the that Castle Zarg is made from.
Oh shit!
As you can see, we have everything under control this side, so your cooperation will make things go much smoother. There's the command ship there, and as you're sort of coming around over the thing, you sort of get to the center of all this. They begin to pull up and just pull back and around behind where all the fighting is happening, and you can see an immense command ship. This thing it's big, it's
cattle bruiser.
As big a ship as the Terran army has ever produced. You would imagine that the entire thing is manned by, a good 10,000 people. Most of those people, of course, have left the command ship and the fighter ships. Every now and then there's these little ports opening up as ships are coming in to refuel and just damaged ships coming in to try and switch out for newer, more repaired ones. There must be engineers in there sort of working around the clock to get things up and running. But you bypass all this. There seems to be there are 5 of these very tiny little vessels that seem to exist entirely to provide support for the command ship. And they're all just mounted with a big shield projector and a big gun, each of them.
Fuck.
all right.
They surround Larkey's command ship, but the shield on one side is sort of opened up as you, in your little vessel with Mathis, along with Privates Dunn and Haberfirth are their names, in fact.
Love those names.
I never got a chance to say them, so I thought I would, before we probably
I'm glad you did. They're brilliant.
Privates Mathis, Dunn, and Haberfirth take you in. You can see one of these tiny little ports opening up, and it turns out to be much larger than it was as you sort of come in. You get to a point where, on this safe side of the battle, Larkey's ship just completely eclipses everything else. You can't even hear the fight going on anymore. It's almost peaceful.
Oh my god.
As up here in sort of, officers' lounge space, it's as though there aren't massive civilian casualties happening down below. There isn't fire raining from above and an overwhelming display of military superiority.
Fuck.
As you are directed into the ship, and Dunn, the pilot, lands the ship smoothly in a port and sort of nods over at Herodotus, like, "We're here."
Lovely work, boys. Stick with the ship.
The door opens up, and the ramp rolls down.
Well, drop that thing like a stone in a creek.
Yes.
Didn't you now?
Now I'm very excited to see the look on everyone's faces as they see you with your fresh new digs. Now you remember to tell them that that's Zargmoon Expedition Excursion merch that you're wearing.
The very one.
Yes. You send them our ways.
Moon Expedition. Yes, that does have a good ring to it, doesn't
Zargmoon
it?
Expedition Excursions. Thank you very much.
Y'all come back now.
Strutted, boys.
You hear?
Strutted.
Yes. You make me very proud.
Oh,
They sort of like nod miserably and sort of, and Mathis, still wearing this bright yellow shirt squeezed over his military uniform, steps out down the ramp, and off to the one side he freezes in a salute to allow Herodotus and company to exit down into the port, where down below Larkey himself is waiting.
Ooh, all right. Well,
Surrounded by a rather large honor guard.
oh yes.
Shall we proceed? It looks like they're expecting us.
Yes, well, we should never dilly-dally. Isn't that right, Cleo?
oh well. We really shouldn't.
So as you descend out of the fighter ship, we're out of the what do we call it? It's just a little military vessel,
Yeah.
little infantry transport ship.
The kindling.
You see standing there at sort of
Episode
like
title.
an awkward at an imposing distance, forcing you to walk to him to sort of to be able to get within even just sort of talking distance. Is Larkey in his full regalia, standing tall and proud, but sipping some sort of hot beverage from a small ornate cup, and lined up behind him are just row upon row of soldiers, again in full dress attire.
So when we come down like the ramp from the ship, and the private is like striking the salute to us, is he still doing that?
Yeah, just standing there in the still salute, just waiting for this whole transaction to be over, basically.
Oh, okay. So as we come down, I turn to him and go,
Keep the meter running. We shall need the vessel before long.
Oh, God, Mathis.
sort of trying to just grab the initiative of the situation, and then sort of as if only then realizing that, oh yeah, there's my old friend Malaki.
Oh, Larkey, there you are, my boy. I see the bombardment is going well. You've barely lost 10% of your numbers.
Larkey is sort of sitting there, like he's been tapping his foot as the three of you walk across the port towards him, and sort of sipping his thing. It's like, yes, it's all going rather splendidly, Harry.
Yes, but I can imagine it would be tedious,
Well, yes, things haven't been going entirely smoothly, but well, we have the numbers. The wrinkles are being worked out, and of course.
You misunderstand me, old boy.
What's all this?
I mean, it must be terribly tedious having to write all of those letters to the parents of all of those noble, dead Imperial soldiers you leave upon the ground. However,
I assure you there is an automated process for all that.
no doubt. but even so, it does impose certain political implications, doesn't it? And as a prominent politician yourself, you can only live with so many troubles at a time, family.
Well, that Harry, is precisely why the rest of this mission is going to go off without a hitch. All will be forgiven and forgotten once I have taken Zargmoon in the glorious name of our empire.
Indeed. And in that effect, I come bearing good news. I can secure you that surrender within the hour.
What do you mean, Herodotus?
Well, you are aware of the ancient laws of conquest that ruled in times before the constitution of our very empire was written, yes? The ancient laws.
Well, of course.
Well, of course. Well, you look upon me, blood-splattered conqueror that I am. I now have a legitimate claim upon the moon, having just come from the field of battle, having won a great conquest. Therefore, I shall descend, and in the name of imperial peace, lend myself to the savage local, as the best way of holding your artillery strikes, at least for a given time.
Yes, and I suppose you'll just be wanting 1 week's of my pudding for this service, won't you, Harry?
Well, I shall be wanting your undying friendship and loyalty, of course.
Oh, but of course. Now, you're being suspiciously generous here, Harry.
Oh no! Don't mistake me for a ponderous fool. I know I've wronged you, Larkey. I've done you wrong. I've done you dirty, as they say. And I'm merely seeking to make amends. You know, I'm an old man at the end of my tether. All I can do is hope for a retirement worthy of the Mendleroth name. You know, and for of course, unless the old family tree should be pruned a good deal, my inheritance is, well, it's not going to be greater than my pension, is it? So, you know, what is a man to do? One must have honey for the bread, no?
Now, let me get this straight. You hand over the southern hemisphere to us without a fight.
No, yes, we'll need military
Castle
installations.
Zarg will be in my control.
Of course.
And you will broker a deal between the indigenous peoples.
Of course.
I'm not entirely sure that I see what you get out of this arrangement, Herodotus, and that makes me nervous.
Well, Larkey, when you're older, you'll understand that all a man could possibly want in life, foregoing all claim to nobility or higher office, is comfortable retirement. And I've earned at least that much in my loyal service to the Imperial Order. All those years ago, when I, as a green-shod lad, joined with a local regiment and marched off to battle. Oh, those were noble times, my boy. But all I can tell you, when you dream upon the golden fields of home, you will know what you've been missing all this time.
Well, you know what, Harry, old chum? I have a different arrangement in mind.
Well, all
You
right,
see-
hit me with your best shots.
I put it to you that using my overwhelming military force and superiority, I simply take the moon as I have been. And I'm to understand that your ragtag bunch of how do I say, clansmen would be disinclined to fire upon their king, as it were. So I'm afraid I will be taking you as a hostage.
Wait, okay.
Seize them! Seize the three of them!
What is this?
And,
Wait,
and
you're
put them...
wearing the shirts. You just bought the shirts. You can't be seizing us. This is ridiculous.
Larkey, you misunderstand. My point is simple. For every man you lose in combat or in the air, you lose another 10 in occupying a hostile surfaced moon. Don't you understand? With me upon the throne, I take all the risk. You just take the yield. Also, never mind the political implications.
Yes, well, you have many good points there, Harry, but I'm afraid I have a secondary motivation here. I would rather see you in a cell, or perhaps lined up against the wall with a firing squad, long before I'd have you have myself in any way indebted to your service. No, Harry, I'm afraid there is nothing you can do to help me, save being a human shield.
Well, Larkey, old boy, I can say only one thing. It certainly would be going against the family, wouldn't it? And we would not want those thieving little press rats down at New Earth to hear about such backstabbery, would we? You know,
Don't worry, Harry. I understand exactly what you're saying.
And I
You know,
click send.
Yes.
Send tweet.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
What, Doctor? What was
If
that?
we actually,
You
if,
may have shown your hand.
Doctor, what the fuck?
no,
prematurely
because
there.
we're still going to jail. So clicking
What?
send
No.
doesn't stop that. We still go to
No,
jail.
I was trying to use that as a bargaining chip. Holy fuck.
No, I quite like it though, like, yeah, because Dr. Z wouldn't necessarily understand the bargaining
little
aspect. Dr. Z
jelly.
would probably just understand the like, just the like, well, yeah, Larky's being a dick, let's hurt him, kind of aspect of it. Like, just like,
Doctor, what was
Yes.
that?
Well, draft sent. Draft no longer drafted.
Okay. I'll
Don't
deal
worry.
with you later.
Don't worry,
Herodotus-
Harry. I got you.
Herodotus spins on Larkey and sort of.
Listen here, boy. You're in over your head. We recorded you before when you showed your hand. I know you have. My family, the Rotten Bunch, they wouldn't have put up much of a fight, would they? No, because they are good, honest civilians. And it would not look very good to you, as a minister of imperial rule, to be abusing your mandate to go after individuals, especially of the noble class. What happens when local savages realize that the houses of the nobles fight each other as much as they fight the enemy?
well, yes, you have put me in a very difficult situation, Harry. I really, really wish you had not have done that.
I have
You see-
released the dogs, and I can call them back. But you must swear yourself to this cause, and you must do it now.
And Herodotus pulls out another contract.
This is your entire reputation, boy.
I shan't be tricked into any more of your
I'll
shenanigans,
strip away
Harry.
50 years of achievement.
Those were my puddings by
We'll
right.
send you right back to the
God
pudding
damn you,
factory, boy.
It's my moon
It's
as well.
pudding
My
all
castle.
the way down.
Men, grab him and his friends and put them onto my landing vessel. We're going to the south.
Listen, Larkey. Shit.
As many soldiers sort of surround the three of you, and sort of like shaking their heads with sort of like, like grins, like pointing rifles, like, weapons, please, on the floor where we can see them.
Well, that will be difficult for me. I can't really.
Keep putting the blades in and out, just like.
I don't know how to drop these.
Right, you've got some of those, yes, the disabler things. Yes, all right. Yes, just bang a couple of those on, as someone sort of comes and flops these little magnetic clips that just go click, click onto Dr. Z's energy blades and blaster tantrums, and they sort of roll and sort of go down, and the surrounding honey boy as well goes kind of numb and solid, numb and plasticky, as though there's some sort of little electromagnetic disruption field that's stopping his star sand powered devices from working. But the majority of the honey boys seems to still be functional. There's just sort of wads of it where these things are placed that are sort of going limp and numb and outside of the doctor's control. How do we cuff this thing? Oh dear. Well, we'll leave that to them in the brig. I'm sure they have some sort of canister. And you, Bear, I see you are packing.
Well, I mean, that's one word for it. You care to find out? Come on up,
Not
boys.
particularly. But,
the saloon
you there,
is
you there.
open.
Greggs. Yes, search the earth sign.
Oh, come on up. I warmed it up for you.
This poor soldier sort of steps up, like looking at Cleo and like then looking at the ground,
Oh, nice to meet you.
and then beginning a vigorous frisking.
I'm gonna really jostle around and do a little swipe at him.
Wow.
Sort of like flinching back as one by
Almost
one
gotcha.
he just keeps removing suspicious devices. Cleo's blaster is the first to go,
be
obviously.
careful with that, that's a fun one.
Some of her more visible bombs sort of going. She's got an entire pack just full of
Fair.
explosive kits that just comes
Fair.
away.
I understand. I got
There's lots of just strapped to her armor. There's a lot of just like pieces of technology that no one even quite knows what they do. There's one kind of like it was like a big sort of projection tube that looks weird and confusing and suspicious, but they take that away as well.
Whoa. Yeah, well, you're
Nudge
going to
and
want to
wink to
set
Cleo.
that down in a real dry place now. You watch out, that's water activated.
And they're sort of like nervously putting all these things off to one side as someone else is like coming in with like these big plastic bags and like putting these things in. Someone else is like writing down and creating like a little digital sticker to place on it to label all these possessions. Some of the things they're just saying, like various incendiary and improvised explosive device and like mysterious artifact and things like that. And Larkey himself steps up to Harry. He's like, Herodotus, if you would, your weapons.
Ooh.
Very well, Larkey. Take them off me.
With pleasure. So he sort of reaches and pulls Herodotus's service pistol and baton from him,
sexual
just holding them over one
tension.
shoulder. And then, sort of like looking down his nose at Herodotus, he reaches to Herodotus's chest and rips off the badge denoting his rank.
Oh, so that's the way it's going to be, is it? No
Spank me, Daddy.
honor among
I am afraid.
social climbers, eh?
I'm afraid, Mr. Mendleroth, that is the case.
Thus,
Take them away, Mr. Mendleroth.
Oh, it's cold.
Guys, Dick is smiling so big.
Oh man,
I know.
what if the next chapter is like a redemption arc? Oh my god.
And for God's sake, get on top of that whole message thing, whatever he's done.
oh,
I want someone to spin it as quickly as possible.
Too late now, Lucky. Unless you roll us all out, you're doomed, my boy.
Quiet you! Everybody is going to be perfectly happy and proud of me once I've taken the moon. Take them away! I don't want to see them any longer. As the soldiers begin to escort the three of you
And
away.
everyone just starts singing an old marching song.
I knew a young slaughter boy.
Now, Cleo was frisked down pretty well, but she has a lot of fur, a lot of nooks, a lot of crannies, and a lot of devices.
Ooh, lot
And
of crannies.
They made sure they got anything that was big enough to cause an explosion.
Big enough to bag, but now that's the mistake that people make.
So yeah, despite being thoroughly searched, it's difficult to get everything off her, and she still has a few bits and pieces, maybe enough to even fashion something or get up to other mischief. But she certainly has no explosive kits left, no ready-built bombs.
Shit.
As the three of you
Lame.
are led away, you're escorted by a flatteringly large escort of armed soldiers, all with rifles pointed directly at your backs.
Wow, thank you.
All right, so you're all led down a passageway, sort of round several corners. It takes a little while, but you got all the time in the world as you're marched slowly through this huge Imperial ship. This particular vessel, at least the corridors that you're walking, are impeccably clean. Everything's sort of like marbled looking. Although every now and then there are like sort of scuffed up, scurrying soldiers sort of just running across the hallways, doing whatever it is they're doing in the middle of this war that is still going on down beneath you, just sort of out of sight, out of mind
Bugger.
from Larkey's scheming up here.
Lucky.
And finally, you're brought into another of the many landing docks in this ship, where there's a grand-looking ship. This thing it's almost shaped, it's got these elegant curves like a sailing ship. And it has ornate golden sort of patterning around the outsides. It's like panels that probably don't need to be there. This thing is, this is the ship that you send when you want, the first thing people to see to be like, hey, the Empire is here.
Yes.
Leisure vessel.
Yeah.
It's maybe sort of double the size of the Grey Dragon, but it seems like a lot of that is just so that you can fit, like a small platoon going on there and some, like a good amount of fighter vessels.
Caviar to do 20 parties.
Like it looks like it literally has like outdoor balcony sections where there's just big curved plexiglass kind of windows where there's like these sort of
It's a
balcony
luxury
decks
yacht,
where
is
people
what
can
you're
sit
saying.
out. Yeah, you can sort of stand out there and you can just watch
you
the
better not
stars go by if
spill
you
on
want to.
this boat.
Yeah.
There's a section up the front
No
of the top
grape
where you can probably
juice.
just like look all the way from left to right without seeing any walls. It's just this big
Water
round
and
window
Sprite
section.
only. Maybe some Perrier.
But you're certainly not led up to the upper decks. No. You were led in through a service
Surprise.
entry, prodded prodded with rifles and brought into the brig, where the three of you are put into separate cells, each one completely blocked off by a energy field.
Okay.
Placed inside as they push the button, these fields enact sort of wobble and so on, and the lead soldier sort of like smirking at the thing. It's like, now, I wouldn't go touching that if I were you, and if you were thinking of burrowing your way out, sort of like smirking at Cleo, like as some of the more feral creatures of the universe are prone to do, I think you would you'd find that it well, there is a similar field beneath the floors.
Well, I think you'll find that I made love to your mother last night.
But well, it just isn't true. And shut up.
That's not what your mother said last night.
Well, I mean.
Yes, there was much more like that.
Well, we shan't dignify you with without presence. We'll watch you through the cameras. Goodbye.
Oh, very well. Run away, mama's boy. She sends her regards.
Sort of scowling and like sort of stomping the soldier and the rest of the unit sort of like storm out, and another door sort of clicks closed and sort of locks and bolts. You're locked up rather tight.
Well, that was fun.
Well, that hurt me real bad. But it ain't wrong. I am a feral beast of the wilds.
Yes, Cleo.
And I mean,
Oh, what is that thorn?
I think there's a thorn. Because on account of my feral ways.
Yes.
Oh, let me get it. Oh!
She still has the detonator, doesn't she?
Oh, I'm sorry. That wasn't a thorn.
What is a Cleo?
That was a stone.
Yes.
Well played, Ursus Major. The plan is still on.
As Cleo pulls her universal bomb detonator from its hidden location upon her person.
Yes.
Why is it wet?
Well, because we've been having such a great time.
A device that is attuned to any of the explosives that Cleo crafts, and perhaps even some that she's simply modified.
Oh, there we go. That's my girl.
And we take you
The mission's still on.
back in time to a short while ago,
Yes.
while Herodotus was taking the crew, taking the privates on a little tour of the castle. Cleo was up to something of her own.
Fuck yes.
Back in time to just moments after Herodotus led Mathis and the other soldiers out of the spaceport to Cleo deCap with her assistants Zach and Boris.
All right. Now be quiet here. Be quiet, because now just wait. We gotta drag all this here up into that ship while they ain't looking.
Yes, Cleo. But,
What, Boris? What? Goddamn, Boris. What are you?
it is very, very large. Do you think there will be space to hide it?
I mean, that's what the other stuff is for. That's why we gotta bring all this. Boris, don't put that down.
Okay.
Bring all of
Hang
it.
on.
Zach, get.
Oh.
Come here.
Oh, that's my arm. Oh, it's in the doorway.
Now be quiet. Be quiet. Put down it back. No, don't drop it. How is that thing's live? Boris, be quiet. Zach, help it. Just get behind him there.
Yeah, okay, right. I think they're gone.
Do you see?
Can we just shove this thing in?
Do you see him? Do you see anybody?
Zach sort of peers his way in through the door. Yeah, they've left. It's just Trevor in there.
Yeah, all right. Come on, real quick. Come on, we ain't got that much time. We gotta.
He pulls open the door, and Boris sort of heaves the missile, and it sort of clanks with a loud clang on the floor into the spaceport.
Ain't nothing to see here.
Don't worry, Cleo. I have not made it operational yet.
Get up in there. Everybody get up.
Okay.
Climb up.
It's on my back. Just put it on my back. I can do this.
Oh no, didn't he just explode his back in the last, Boris, look at you. Are you sure about this? Let me carry this half of it at least. Boris, you can't.
Okay, thank you, Cleo. Perhaps you're right.
We gotta be careful about this. We got one shot, y'all. We got one shot. They're filming out there. Come on, Zach.
One shot tonight.
Looking like 10 miles of bad road up. Come on.
As you sort of drag this thing in, once you get through the door, it's a lot easier, given Cleo's strength to sort of just lumber this thing over to the ship. And you can see the ship has been left rather thoughtlessly wide open, with the ramp still rolled down.
As you do.
Believing themselves to be in control of the situation and, not particularly worried about someone stealing the ship that has been sent for the benefit of the people of this castle anyway.
Indeed.
So, why would Herodotus do such a thing? It's been left opened up and rolled down. You might not be able to take off the thing without hacking the console, but you can certainly get inside.
Well, we will be getting inside right now. Come on, quick. You see anybody? Zach, you see anybody?
Looks clear to me.
Full as a tick. Come on. Drag it in.
So, Boris sort of helping Cleo drag it thing in. Zach sort of strolls ahead and sort of has a little look what you're working with in there. The interior of the ship, it's very Spartan. It's got, there's a bridge with there are 4 seats, and 2 of which are actually sort of gun turret combined with passenger seat setups where it looks like you can push a button and it will sort of descend down into a gun turret.
Okay.
And then in the back, there are just some long benches either side of the ship for, just for assembled soldiers to sit in, I guess, if you wanted to bring the infantry in.
Okay.
And out back, there looks like there must be some sort of, fix-up room where you get access to the engines and storage and so forth. But aside from that, it's pretty blank and clear. But Zach immediately sort of walks in and starts taking stock of the thing and pulls out his Omni tool.
Excellent. We're all in there.
Flipping it over, and it goes over into a sort of magnetic field-based crowbar.
Oh, all right.
A variant of an energy blade.
All right, team.
Starts feeling around at the floor panels. Like, now usually there's an access point in these somewhere. That the Terrans don't like to make them visible. They think it ruins the aesthetic. But personally, I prefer things to put function over form. But there's no speaking to the design of some of these Terran engineers.
Like a hot knife through butter.
Feeling around, and eventually he's like, "Oh, this has got to be it." Pressing a button on the Omni tool, and there's a sort of as the thing sort of whirls into this magnetic energy, vibrating and pulsing about, and he peels up with a creak, an air-ringing creak, the floor panel, which pops up, revealing a handy crevice beneath.
Well,
it's completely packed with ammunition, with space suits, with what looks like sort of rope and cable, and just bits of just general military trash. But if all of this stuff would be unloaded and hidden somewhere, there could very well be room for an explosive device.
All right, now, see, we're gonna need that space. We're off like a herd of turtles. Zach, Boris, get those spacesuits out, roll them out flat, unzip them, fill them up with all that crap. We're gonna take that with us. We're gonna leave something else.
Wow, we could actually use some of this equipment as well. We're
gonna use all of it for something. Get it on out.
We have a surprisingly small amount of spacesuits, and we don't wear them as often as we should.
Well, we just got a couple more today. We're going shopping, boys. Now load them up. That's it. Stuff that rope down in the leg. We're going to use all of that.
Cleo, Zach, and Boris just unloading all this gear and sort of pulling it out of the thing.
What is that, safety flares? Yeah, we want those.
Danger flares.
Is that a tarp? Roll that up.
I like that. Danger flares.
Hell, is that rations?
No.
Oh, shit.
That's danger flares.
Now, Harry had an old one in his...
Those look pretty old, Cleo.
No, they're better old. Get those. Just, you know what, actually...
age on them.
You hand those over here. You give those to me. I'll carry that.
Handing an armload of these rations. Kind of like cookie dough tube kind of things.
Yeah.
But
putting those down in my armor.
Yeah.
Warm them up.
yeah.
My body heat will activate them.
Oh, boy.
But the contents
activate
are
the essential oils.
much less appetizing than cookie
I
dough.
think
They're
these
much
is the kind
drier
that you pee
and,
on it and then you eat it. You heard of that? It's real good. Extra
Moisture.
flavor.
They're sort of giving you a funny look, and Boris is like,
I'm not sure that is regulation Terran rationing.
It's very fancy. It's okay if you ain't seen it. That's all right if you ain't seen it before. It's pretty fancy.
Right then,
Now you got everything? You got everything down in the spacesuit? There's how many spacesuits
yes,
you got
I think
there?
so. Well, there's spacesuits in the spacesuits as well. There's a lot of
All right,
spacesuits.
we're taking them all. You got them rolled up real good?
Yeah, there's at least 20.
All right, well that's what we need. Load that. Let's roll this bad boy in here. We're leaving them a stone in their stocking, if you know what I mean.
Oh, there we go. Episode title.
Yeah.
Stone in the stocking.
stone in the stocking. Zach and Boris sort of help clank and roll and wedge this thing in, and it's got to go like on a diagonal. It really only just fits, and you're sort of looking at it like the curvature of it. You're
what you
wondering,
do with it,
you're
ain't
wondering
it?
if the floor panel will even close on top of the thing, but it's in
We're
there.
gonna make that fit.
Oh, it's going to be a tight one. Shall I try and close it? Oh, I guess we need to enable the thing.
Boris, come on over here, baby.
Yes, Cleo.
Oh my god. I think he's turned on.
Boris is so ride or die. He was new Terran, and now he's like, fuck yeah.
Perhaps, Cleo, would you like to flick the switch together?
Oh, I thought you would never ask.
He pulls open the little panel and places his finger on the switch, like looking at Cleo with like a devilish glee.
And I'm gonna put my paw down there and it's gonna eclipse his hand entirely. It's a bit of a mess. But I'm gonna look at him in his eye. You ready?
Yes, I can't wait to see what it
We've
does.
come a long way since that trash alley.
Oh shit! Is Dick about to?
Let's do the damn
just turn
thing,
on. Please turn
Boris.
Oh no, Dan, don't say shit like that.
Ow. Ooh.
And together, Cleo and Boris flick the switch, and a red light begins flashing on the interior of the bomb,
Oh,
denoting
jeez.
that this thing is live and armed.
Jesus. I thought that Dick was going to do some dick magic on us and be like, and now there's a transponder, and you've just given away your coordinates to the aliens that are hovering
Hey
above
man,
and are
you
going to
don't
come
know
and kill
yet
you.
that hasn't happened.
I know.
Don't give Dan, when are you gonna learn? Don't give him ideas.
And Boris is like,
You have your universal remote?
Oh, you know I do, right here next to my heart.
Well, I hold down this. Hang on.
he pulls out a little paper clip and pushes down one of those little mini buttons on the inside of this thing. Like,
Like an iPhone.
Hold it near and we
It's a
can. We will
bomb.
sync them.
This is a nuke.
Hold it near and we will sync the devices.
All right, hold on. Hold on.
Jesus.
Hold on, let me get it out.
It's a fucking nuke and he's arming it with a paper
Hold
clip.
on, I dropped it.
He's resetting the button.
Boris, hold on.
The most backwater bastard shit ever.
It's quite hard to hold this thing in, Cleo.
Hold on.
Pair them.
Mine is chipped. The battery I gotta hold the back because the battery flap, it kind of, it don't stay down. I got it taped. Hold on, Zach. It fell down under the chair. Zach, get it.
you sure you want to use this to set the thing off? It doesn't seem all that reliable, as he's like stuffing the battery back in.
Listen, why don't you just leave this to the expert? Shit. You hear that, Boris? I'm gonna jerk a knot in your tail, boy. Give it back here now. All right, Boris. I got it. Tell me when. I got it.
Yes, and push sync. Push sync.
Is that what? Is that it? Sync.
SYT8. No.
Mine is different.
C,
Mine says SIN. N? Is that N? Is that
Push
N?
it, push it, yes.
Is that N or P? All right.
Oh, yes. It seems to have worked. I think this one here, was it AP319999992?
Oh, shit.
I
Now,
think-
Boris, I thought it was a 4892XZ.
But I think if you detonate that will explode this here.
What about that dead man switch that the XYR have? Now, don't be acting like you forgot about it.
Well, now that you have the signal, you can detonate it with any devices that you want to set up.
we better hope and pray. Hope and pray. Hopes and praise.
Okay, well, I'm
laugh, bomb.
closing it up. Just,
Live on the bomb.
just remember, there is no safe blast zone to this thing. We will not be able to run away. So
Wait.
do not push the button.
Wait. Before we close it up,
Hopes and prayers.
Cleo takes out the eyeball
Oh shit.
Oh,
no. She's-
and just puts it down
She
in
wants
there.
to see what it's like.
nice.
Put that eyeball down in there. And
Nice.
now go ahead.
The eyeball from the dead
Yeah.
craw.
Zach
Yeah.
Zach is
Oh, no,
looking
the living craw, right?
like
Yeah.
quite perturbed at this
Yeah.
pair being in charge of what is presumably the most dangerous weapon in your arsenal. But
Well.
he pulls down rather gently the floor panel, and he gets to a point where it's not quite closed, and it's still being held up just a few millimeters by the bomb. And he sort of tries to sort of lightly click it into place. He's just pushing down as gently and softly as he can, but it's not really budging. And then he's like, sort of gulps and looks at the sort of, the eager, grinning faces of Cleo and Boris.
Boris, which is just a horror painting at this point.
And he just
like-
sort of like shakes his head and like almost does sort of like a Hail Mary kind of action. And he lifts up his booted marine armor foot and just stomps the thing down with a click. It seals shut.
Oh, that's the stuff right there, my friend. I'm gonna tan your hide if you broke that bone.
Oh, that was a little bit exhilarating.
Oh, you're lucky that we ain't on Dias right now after that.
Okay. Well, we better get out of here before they get back. I don't know how long.
You've outlaunched us, you little piece of shit.
I don't know how long Herodotus can filibuster. Well, no,
Well-
actually, no.
And that takes us just about back to the beginning of where we started the personal
Now you see that? That's-
and very extended and fruitful.
Right. I think we should run.
Woo! We all experts at something. Everybody grab your packs. Don't forget any of your swag. Now, this is the reward for working overtime.
Dragging all the stolen military equipment as the three
Come
of them
on,
just sort of
come on.
scamper away, tripping over themselves as they run out of the ship.
Don't steal any of that. Now we gonna need all of that rope. Come on.
Well, thank you all for listening through
Oh,
a
big one.
mammoth
It was a huge
episode
one.
of the
Yes.
Backwater
A
Bastards.
long boy.
So big. Oh my
I had to
god.
bite my tongue constantly about the Cleo's little aside moment.
Yes. Oh my
Just
god.
a little pebble in my shoe.
Just a little stone.
That's a little.
Oh, I love like me not being the one to spring the surprise. Like that's quite fun.
Who's red weddinging now?
And we are on episode 101. This is.
This is the 101st episode of
Holy
Backwater
crap.
Bastards, and it's all because of you.
So if you haven't been aware, then where you been? Under a rock? Not a stone, because we've got the stone. But
Yeah, we've got the stone.
check out the Twitter
We've
because
got
we've
it.
got prizes, we've got things, we've got giveaways, we got fun stuff to be involved in.
There is always something going on in Bastard space,
Yes.
and if you're missing it, then you're a
Poopy head.
Yeah.
Fool.
yeah.
Poopy head.
Dum-dum
Dumb
You're
poopy
a
head.
head.
Larkey.
Lucky Malaki.
You're about if you miss out on this, you're about to get lucky.
Yes.
I feel like I can't do like a pretend, the pretense of a dignified villain without having them like start throwing tantrums at a certain point. Like it's just too
You
fun.
gotta lose your shit.
Yeah.
Origins, man.
You gotta go crazy in this crazy world.
Where did you lose your shit?
But thank you everyone for listening. And if you haven't yet, please head over to iTunes and give us a 5-star review. Write anything. Give us the
Please.
character description of your own character and we will draw it. Those things help so much. Otherwise, if you want to hear our pre-game rambles, you can head over to our Patreon in the show notes. And yeah, thanks so much for listening.
Sure.
Thank you.
Thank
See you
Love
next week.
you.
Well, I wouldn't say love, but
Bye.
strong
No, I'm
affectionate
saying
feelings.
it.
Saying
Love
it.
you. Love you, long, big.
Oh, the love of a
fucking
warm
heart of a
glass.
oil.
Yeah, there it is.
Oh, no.
There it is.
Love you.
Yeah, love you like that. Weird and sticky and scary.
Oh, yes. Just weird.
Like Pepsi on the floor of a movie theater.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Just so strange.
You don't have to pay for it if you lick it off the floor.
Well, that's going on a t-shirt. We gotta thank you for being
Made it possible.
patrons.
Certainly made it more comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
This block of gold bars that I've been sitting on.
Oh,
really
and it's so
Made it a
comfortable,
lot
though.
sexier. We've been able to get dick Brazilians like for a couple months now.
Like never before.
It's smooth.
It's
Like
my
never
favorite,
before.
my favorite kind of nut. I've just been chowing down
Yeah.
on Brazilians.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
He
Our
loves
favorite
those.
type of nut too.
It is my
Well,
a smooth one, you know,
smooth.
a smooth nut.
Smooth.
As Chappelle says, smooth as eggs.
Smooth.
That's what I like, you know,
balls
and
are
you know that's
Smooth
possible.
as eggs.
That's possible because of y'all, and you know we should shout y'all out because you are the reason for the season and
Yes.
the you know I'm
Season's
gonna let that die.
greeting.
But anyway, you guys are cheaper by the dungeon,
Cheaper by the dungeon.
and
Yes.
Lucas Duff,
Lucas?
Ballad of the Seven
Yellow
Dice.
Duff.
Duff man never dies.
Marcus Brackleman.
Never dies.
Brackly boy. Brackly boy. Wow. I didn't know you could do that.
Oh my
Next
God, is that
character?
coming out of Evan?
Next short-lived character, maybe?
Evan's the scary old guy from Men in Black. I don't know about this. I'm done.
Okay.
I think it's just like, you know, like big, tall Donald Duck.
Oh, that's scary too. Big, tall Donald Duck.
This
Get the
this big barrel-chested Donald Duck.
I don't want that. I don't want any of this. Fernando Garcia.
Garcia. Oh, we should get Garcia in the fight. We need Garcia Station. Garcia Station,
should.
send reinforcements, please.
You guys know Thespa?
We should call
Well,
Thespa.
I don't know. Is she gonna help us?
I mean, Thespa's
She wasn't
more into a smuggling
really-
run. She probably wouldn't be
They were-
interested in entering a war.
Maybe she could bring some cool
Snuggles.
stuff.
She could help with the logistics,
She
probably.
could maybe send
We-
some of the
Smuggler.
enemy troops away.
Well, I mean, her kids are like pretty epic as well.
They're good
They are.
spies. They're like the boffin
Wraith.
spies.
Many of them will
We need
die
that.
to get us some
Many-
information.
Oh, fuck.
Sweet.
That's harsh.
Oh. Herodotus is all for that.
And Noodle,
Noodle.
our
Noodle
favorite
soup.
starch.
Yes. Ah, yes. I love a
Yes.
good cheat noodle.
You know he's the
A
chef
good
now.
cheap noodle.
Really?
Yes.
Cool.
Is he a chef
Well,
now?
you know, at his house. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
but he's
Chef
like
of the
doing
castle.
chef quality. He's doing chef quality shit.
Mhm.
Nice.
Making broccoli cake.
Broccoli
Broccoli
boy.
cake.
Yeah. So go to Noodle's house if you want some. The Abel Queen, map maker extraordinaire, and Nicole Snyder,
Hey guys, it's
Sniper.
Nicole.
Backwater Bastards marketing wizard.
Boom.
Hey
Truly.
guys,
Hey guys, it's
Hello.
Nicole.
it's Nicole.
Yep, it is. And Randy Loving.
Oh, we love him. That's why he's put it as his last name.
Yay.
Thank
love
you,
him.
Randy.
We believe in him.
Randy.
Yep, that's how you know. And Ybots 999.
He's a
Wow.
little shifty fella. You should watch out for him.
He's making a film and
Nah,
gonna
nah.
put it in a theater near you.
Yes.
See? And Trevor.
Forever.
Trevor
Forever and ever.
Light him up. Pull one out. Trevor
Smoke him
forever.
if you got him.
pull one out. We don't want to get any
And
more
Ben!
trouble.
Oh, Ben.
Bam.
Oh,
Build
good
our
number.
Where you
bridges.
been, Ben?
Where you
Where you
been?
been?
Where you been?
Well, he's been on a bridge for like 5 years now.
Well,
They
it's
won't
an
let
odd
him
place
leave.
to be.
Yeah.
Well, he made
awkward.
the bridge, and now he has to live in it.
And
Now
he
he needs to
bridged
get over
the
it.
maid.
And no, one cigarette burn for Dan. Um, and Daphne, otherwise
Doff.
known by her new name, Doff.
Yes, Doff.
Doff.
Hello, Doff.
Doff, wing Doff.
You know, you
Doff
stand
Vader.
around this fire for long enough, and you get renamed.
Doff,
Get
I am your
renamed
father.
Doff.
Well, maybe. You never know. Evan's been around, but
He's been around the fire.
he's been around that
You.
fire for a while now.
Yes.
Motherfucker.
He's become
He's
the
a lot-
fire.
He's a lot older than he looks.
Yeah.
That 18-year-old skin
Yeah,
is.
what the fuck, Evan? I've got all this grey hair. You got none. Catch up. And you need more
Well, it's
grays.
because he's been eating.
I've been eating my
Tapioca.
vegetables,
It's got
baby.
that strong hair color.
Well, Evan has spent many years on his tapioca farm, eating the tapiocas out of the
Just
ground.
tapping
and
that
now he
tapioca.
looks like this,
Straight out the ground.
Delight.
straight out the
So
ground.
you tap that tapioca, don't you? And just sort of and pour
And
it
it's
straight
really
down your
hard
throat.
work, you guys, because sometimes you mess up. Sometimes you mess up, and it's not a tapioca. It's a frog egg.
It's a potato.
That's what happens.
I
Yeah.
don't know what
Or-
tapioca is. I'm just trying to add.
I think it's like some
I'm
sort
trying to
of
contribute, but I have no idea what you're talking
It's
about.
like little tiny balls.
Okay. Potatoes are
balls.
also tiny
Tapioca.
balls.
Yeah, tapioca
Okay.
is just like
smooth like egg.
Well, you guys, I picked the one fucking thing that we really could not riff on, so
Yeah,
here we
sorry.
go. It's okay. Thanks.
Bye.
I love
It's
you.
like a grain.
Thank
isn't
you
it?
everyone for listening. And if you wanted to listen
you.
to our pre-game rambles, the rambles that happened before this episode, then you can join this lovely list of patrons. And
You
we'll
can.
also shout out your name amongst the stars.
We will.
And
Yes.
rename you as well.
Yes, we'll give you a new name.
Probably
a
that
better
too.
name.
I mean,
Yeah.
we're gonna talk about you, and you don't even know where that's gonna go because we don't know either.
Yeah, you
Don't know.
You don't
But you
don't
know you want it.
Yeah,
We don't
dumb
know.
Bastard.
You know you.
You
want
fucking
it.
dumb bastard.
Great job, guys.
Stupid bastard.
Go fuck yourself.
That's how they say I love you.
Oh,
it's just lashings of baby
Yeah.
oil.
Just
Baby
like
oil,
that.
just
Just
lashes.
like that.
Just pour it on me.
Yeah.
Splashings of baby oil.
Pour it on me.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's
I'll
what love
see you
looks
later.
like over here in these here
Yes.
parts. Haha.
Looks like splashings of baby
Wow.
oil.
How sentimental.
Goodbye, everyone. I hope you enjoyed the podcast.
Yeah, we
next
do.
week, you
We
fucking
do.
bastards.
I'm gonna have a little drink of baby oil.
Oh,
you
Jesus,
give that
don't do
head,
that. No, no.
You stinking
Wait.
geezer.
And scene.
Bye.
Scene.
See you later. Bye.
Real cute.
Tune in next time for another edge of your seat adventure in space with the Backwater Bastards.
If you enjoy listening, but also have eyes, check out our Instagram, where we post drawings, illustrations, character art from our adventures. Backwater_bastards. Check out our Instagram on Instagram.
Camera looking at Harry's eyes, shall we? And then Z's eyes, we shouldn't. And then Cleo's eyes, we rarely should. And then over to Larkey's eyes of like, hello. And then, like so quick. Oh, I wish we could film this shit.
Oh man, maybe we can.
Dun it, dun it, dun it, dun it, dun it, dun it.